What's up, you guys? So today we're going to talk about the USAPL's ban on transgender athletes. I know this is something that gets people very fired up, so I just ask everyone to be kind, otherwise I'm just going to block you. It is more of a conversation of why or why not transgender athletes should be banned from the USAPL. So I think the first thing to start with is, to figure out how the heck I'm gonna do this quest. I'm doing the waterfall quest right now, and I haven't done it in a hot minute, and I honestly don't remember what I'm doing. I just literally spent 30 minutes trying to get here, and that was embarrassing. So I think the first thing to start with is, what is the USAPL? The USAPL is a federation under the IPF, and it is a tested federation. So what does this mean? This means that you cannot be on hormone therapy, PEDs, testosterone, like you cannot be taking anything that could possibly benefit you as an athlete in powerlifting. Now there's a few issues with transgender athletes competing in the USAPL, a tested federation. The first one being that transgender females, so born males, have a bunch of benefits that naturally born females do not have. The big one obviously is going to be testosterone. Even though they are on hormone therapies to lower these levels and balance out the levels to be that of a natural female, this does take time. It has been said to take about 2 years. We obviously need some more research. We need some more studies. We need to understand how our bodies are affected by hormone therapy. So I think the studies are going to be the biggest thing we need to see to understand what's going on. The biggest thing obviously is going to be testosterone, but that is not the only benefit of being a transgender female competing with natural females. The other benefits are going to be muscle mass, bone density, body fat levels. Body fat levels are typically lower in males, born males, than in born females. And then we have muscle fibers. Now, born males are going to have more type 2 muscle fibers, and what this means is they're going to be geared more towards power, more towards strength, whereas females have more type 1 muscle fibers, which is geared towards more endurance. So natural born females aren't really, as far as muscle fiber and pretty much metabolism and several other things, aren't geared towards being powerful. It doesn't mean we can't be, because obviously we can be, but competing against someone who is born with those extra benefits, ethically in a tested federation, is this something that is okay? Okay, y'all, we're trying to do, this is really mind-boggling to me. I wish I was not doing this quest while talking about something so serious. So that's the biggest thing with transgender females competing against natural females. And then the other problem is transgender males competing with natural males. With this, the problem is transgender males are going to be taking testosterone because they're trying to achieve the levels of a natural male. And then the counter argument to that is, well, I'm not trying to achieve any additional benefits outside of being the gender that I feel I am and the gender that I am transitioning into. So the issue is, people are arguing that they're not taking testosterone to benefit them in the sport. So that's the argument there. But the issue is with allowing this, first of all, it's against the USAPL's rules. Even if it's not for any benefit of the sport, it's against the rules. That the rules are the rules. It's going to cause people to try to bend the rules. So let's say a transgender male was taking hormone therapy and a natural male said, well, I have low testosterone levels already. Why can't I go through hormone therapy to increase my testosterone levels? So do you see how that comes into play? Or let's say like a natural male has higher testosterone levels and isn't taking PEDs or, anything like that. So the issue comes into play of what is fair if everyone is not completely equal in their testosterone levels. Like, where is the line drawn if we start allowing people to bend the rules? And then one other thing too is the USAPL is very strict. Like I already said, the USAPL is not for everyone. They are very open to not being for everyone. First of all, they're not for anyone who is taking PEDs, anyone who's on taking testosterone. Like, it is a tested federation for a reason. So already it's secluding a group of people, and it is those who are taking testosterone, taking PEDs. And it has nothing to do with being against any transgender athlete. It's the fact that they are already strict in their rules. Like, for example, if you accidentally take the wrong pre-workout, well, you're screwed, because certain pre-workouts are banned from the USAPL because of the ingredients inside of them. So you just have to be very careful when you're competing in the USAPL. And the only reason I think I do fully agree with this is because there is another federation for them to compete in, and that is the USPA. So the USPA is a non-tested federation, meaning you can take PEDs, you can go through hormone therapy, you can compete as a transgender male, as a transgender female. So if the USPA was not an option, I'd probably feel differently about this. I definitely feel differently about this, because I do think that transgender athletes should be able to compete. There's no reason that they shouldn't be. But because it's a tested federation, it makes sense. Now the Olympics tests, but they allow transgender athletes to compete. So that's another argument. If the Olympics allows transgender athletes to compete, why does the USAPL not? That being said, with the Olympics, you do have to have already transitioned 2 years. Like, you have to already be transitioned fully for 2 years to compete, because that's when levels are supposed to be natural to that of your gender. So that makes sense, and I think that that's okay. Like, if we got more studies, and I do think that the USAPL will eventually allow transgender athletes to compete. I just think that it's such a fresh new thing that's what they decided was best, and I completely understand it, and I don't think that they're doing it for any discrimination reasons other than hormone therapy. So that is my take on it, is compete in the USPA if you're a transgender athlete and you're wondering what the heck to do because now you can't compete in the USAPL. The only thing is, I don't know if you could compete in the tested USPA meets, because USPA as a whole is not a tested federation, but the tested meets are, and they don't test everyone, they only test a select few. In their rulebook, they haven't mentioned anything about not being able to compete as a transgender athlete. In fact, the information on the tested meets is, I think it's part 12 of the rulebook, and then part 13 is where it talks about transgender athletes, where you are completely, like, you are allowed, and that's pretty much all it says. Yes, you can compete. And that came right after the part about the tested meets. So I would assume that if you could not compete in a tested meet, that they would say that, especially because it was right below the information on the tested meets. So that's my take on it. I completely understand why transgender athletes cannot compete in the USAPL. It doesn't mean that I don't think that transgender athletes shouldn't compete. I just think that they should compete in the USPA, because it would be more fair to the other athletes, at least for now, until we get more information on hormone therapy. Does it really, really, truly balance out your hormone levels after 2 years? I personally do believe that the USAPL is going to eventually allow transgender athletes to compete, because the Olympics allows transgender athletes to compete. I just think because it's such a fresh new thing that they've even had to think about, that they thought it best and most fair right now to not allow transgender athletes to compete. But I would like to know what your guys' thoughts are on all of this, because it's such a controversial topic. I know that people feel very strongly against it. I haven't really heard too many people be strongly for it. I am for it, but I'm not strongly for it. So I'm kind of neutral, just a little bit for it, only because I understand it, and only because I don't think it's biased. If I thought it was for biased reasons, or if I thought it was discrimination, then I would be totally against it. But because of what the USAPL stands for, I agree with them. The only thing that makes me really question that is the fact that the Olympics allows transgender athletes to compete after 2 years. So I truly believe the USAPL is going to change these rules. It's just so fresh. So let me know what your guys' thoughts are down in the comments below. Just please be kind one way or the other.